Hello, friends. Welcome to Under the Arc Sports. I'm Eric, and today we're going to talk about Mizzou basketball and their seeding in the NCAA Tournament. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook and Instagram. So, first things first, Mizzou is in the NCAA Tournament, safely in. So, I think you have to go back, before you consider anything else, go back to November. If someone were to come to you and offer a season where Mizzou is safely in, probably going to be wearing the home whites in the first round, would you have taken that? I absolutely would have. And I'd have been giddy with it. I was not expecting a season to end up like that. I didn't think they'd make the tournament. So I think you have to have some perspective in that regard, first and foremost. Now, as for where Mizzou sits right now, they are 15-8 with an NET ranking of 44. They're coming off that senior day home loss to LSU. That would have been a nice win to get, but it's a quad one game all the same. So losing that game doesn't really damage you in terms of seeding. So it's not that big of a deal, as much as it would have been a fun win to get. Looking at the SEC tournament, Mizzou's going to be the 7th seed. They're going to play the 10th seeded Georgia Bulldogs. That'll be a revenge game, possibly. It's, in terms of resume, a chance to avenge one of the 8 losses. Mizzou lost in Athens 80-70. That was the second game that Mizzou played without Jeremiah Tillman. Now, that game would be important to win for Mizzou, but not for seeding or anything like that, but more so just regaining some confidence for the team. All right. It's going to be important that the team believes in itself and has some of its early season swag back. If they can do that, though, then they're looking at playing Arkansas, the 2 seed in the tournament, the conference tournament, and a team that is as hot as any in the country. That is a chance at a win that might move Mizzou up a seed. So that would be big. Overall, I think for the conference tournament, the goals, before you get to any games, stay healthy, both injuries and COVID. That would be just a killer to, go down there, beat Georgia by a couple points, lose to Arkansas, and oh no, 3 players have COVID. No NCAA tournament. Season's over. That's what you're trying to avoid first and foremost. As for once we get to the NCAA tournament, like I said, Mizzou's 15-8, NET ranking of 44. It's a strong schedule that Mizzou's played. ESPN had their strength of schedule at 14, the strength of record at 23. If you don't understand strength of record, it's basically a way of supplementing strength of schedule, because a strength of schedule is great, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you lose all those games. So that's going in Mizzou's favor, as is the fact that Mizzou has 7 quad one wins. Among those, 5 Q1A upper tier quad one wins. Not a whole lot of teams have that. The bragging rights game, Illinois, that looks like a monstrous win now. At Tennessee, that's a really good win. At Arkansas, that looks huge now. So Mizzou's resume in that regard is really strong. If you want to look at projections, it's going to be somewhere between 6 and 8, almost certainly. Maybe some teams who are right now 6 and 7, maybe they lose and Mizzou wins SEC tournament. They might be able to squeeze their way to a 5. I don't think they're going to fall all the way to a 9. I don't see it happening. I think they'd have to get the doors blown off by Georgia for that to even be a possibility. Now, if you look at, there's a website called Bracket Matrix, and that has like 133 different projections. Mizzou's in all of them, and they're as high as 5, as low as 12, but those are the outliers. They're almost all 6, 7, or 8. that they average out to being the second 7 seed in all of that. And in that projection, they'd be the second 7 seed playing 10th seeded Maryland. If you look at Yahoo and Michael Lazarus doing his Yahoo Sports projection, he has Mizzou as an 8 seed against Rutgers. Rutgers making their first tournament appearance in about 400 years. Joe Lunardi of ESPN, he's got Mizzou as an 8 seed as well. He's got them playing the UConn Huskies. And Jerry Palm of CBS, he's got Mizzou as a 6. That's the highest I've seen of any of the prominent bracketologies. He also has Mizzou playing Maryland. So what are these projections worth? As far as the seed, they're going to give you a ballpark. As far as the opponent, not worth a lot in terms of a specific name or school. It can tell you the type of team you can expect Mizzou to play. You know, Maryland, Rutgers, and UConn, they're all kind of that lower tier of at-large teams. Right now, Mizzou is not looking like they're going to end up playing a conference champion of some smaller conference. So Mizzou's got that going for them. That starts really more with your 5-12 matchup, and that's why we see so many upsets in that matchup. Is you've got decent teams playing conference champions a lot of the time. So Mizzou's avoiding that most likely. If I had to guess, I'd go 7. You know, you definitely want to see them get up to 6, avoid playing a 2, or if they're an 8, playing a 1 in the second round, because there's such a drop-off in talent. If they can end up as a 6, it becomes so much easier. But yeah, it's going to be tough to predict. We'll have more analysis once we see Mizzou's matchups and possible path through the tournament. But for now, we're just kind of left guessing because we've got a Mizzou team that can beat almost anybody and can lose to almost anybody. So we'll see. That's it for our analysis of Mizzou and where they might end up seated in this tournament. Be sure to check out our upcoming videos about the Cardinals in spring training, the Blues as they battle all their injuries. We'll have more on Mizzou as the tournament approaches. And that's it. Thanks for checking out this video. Hope to see you next time.